coming up from him as well. And when he plays Lance, he goes for the not so traditional double tension bow for that extra shield pairs, armor pairs. So honestly, for the side of Eanix, it is just down to both of these players. Of course, we cannot quite deny the fact that Rubber Monkey, the roamer, or rather the captain for the side of Eanix, is a very strong player that kind of just holds the team together and calls and, of course, analyze the ongoing game.
Yeah, I do agree. I personally really like to see Iron Gudai play Taka. I think he's fantastic at it. And also, we know Eanix as a team, they love their Scarf. They love the comps where they can go Scarf and 2 heroes to support that, or maybe even Celeste and 2 heroes to support that. So I hope Silvermoon have done their research. They know what Eanix like to play, and now they're going to try and counter it or just ban it away. I think the best option for Silvermoon in this draft is to just ban away Scarf or Celeste. Speaking of draft, it is ready. So without further ado, we're going to head straight into the draft.
Well, so coming into this draft, honestly, what I'm expecting coming up for both of these teams, or rather the side of Silverboom at least, is to just prioritize on that Cruel, if not that Scarf, forcing Trophies, that Scarf main, to just settle for that Celeste. But even then, we do see incredible plays coming up from Trophies, and his positioning as a mage user was just insane. We do see a Cruel being banned out first for the side of Team Eanix. Oh, Silverboom, sorry.
The Silverboom is on the A side, and a Cruel ban makes a lot of sense. We know that Eanix like to play Cruel. Obviously, they like Scarf as well, but you can pick Scarf, your A side, that's not a problem. I think a counter ban could be Catherine, would be a really smart idea, because she's so strong that if you let that over, she's really hard to counter Catherine, especially given how Skye got nerfed. You don't ever want to pick Skye, or you can pick Skye, but maybe against a Cruel, but I don't think she's worth it. And so you can't pick that to counter Catherine. So the Catherine pick from Silverboom would make a lot of sense. So Eanix thinking about what they want to ban. Maybe they want to get one of Catherine or Lyra, so they don't want to ban either. Maybe they think of a Baron ban. We saw Idris a lot, but I doubt that will be banned by Eanix. They may go for something like Kestrel or maybe a Batiste.
Yeah, but there is one thing that we must note as well. Cruel being banned out for the side of Silverboom, really prioritizing on that ban, since not much time, not much thought was put into that ban as well. But for the side of Eanix, they could try a lot of comp. You spoke about Skye going into Cruel as well earlier on in the draft itself. But Skye, even before 2.7 drop, Cruel generally does quite well against the Skye, or rather Iron Greed, you dies Cruel at least. I mean, we've seen him play a rather strategic placement when he does go on at Cruel going up against the Skye as well. So for the side of Eanix, honestly, they can ban. They have a wide hero pool. They can choose to ban out. They can go for the Batiste ban. They can go for the Catherine ban, which makes so much more sense in 2.7 at least. Or if not, then the secondary ban can be that of Castrol. If not, just Castrol is a very good ban for Lei Kang, going up against Lei Kang as a laner. If not, then the Adagio, the very rare weapon Adagio that Lei Kang traditionally plays.
Yeah, we know Silverboom do like to play off-meta comps. They like to play weapon Adagio. They like to surprise their opponents with something. So that could make sense to ban it away. But given with Lyra and Grace still open, I think Adagio would be maybe a second ban, because you're not going to first pick Adagio. You'd rather first pick the Lyra or the Grace. And so they could just ban away something, Eanix ban something that they don't want to play against. Or it's more likely, if they want to ban something like that, they're going to ban maybe a Taka, who does well against their Scarfs that they like to play, against the Celeste that they like to play. So there seems to be some draft issues. Hopefully that is figured out. Eanix able to select the hero they want to ban. We also seen quite a lot of emphasis on Lance. Why do you think this is? Lance didn't get any buffs in the 2.7 patch. He actually got nerfed in 2.6. So why do you think that we've seen a lot of Lance emphasis in the previous couple of games, I'm sure, yeah?
But I guess it is because of how strong Bren Chong traditionally is on the Lance. And it's just that if you do land your Impale, you land those Githian walls, then definitely, you provide a lot more CCs as compared to the other captains. So I do understand why Lance is just generally banned out in that previous game. But coming into this game, we do see Eanix just removing Grace and then picking up Batiste for themselves, whereas the side of Silverboom just going for that Lyra pickup.
Yeah.
So far so good. So far kind of matter throughout, even for the side of Superboom. It's quite rare I can say that for them, but we do see a Baron being banned out from the side of Eanix.
Yeah, I think the Baron ban is alright. They could have possibly banned away. I think Tackle would have been more smart. But Silverboom appear to be giving over the Scarf, so I expect Scarf will be picked up by Eanix. No reason for them not to. Idris off the fold. Eanix don't play Idris that much. They prefer their mages, and maybe the patch has changed that for Eanix. They've gone for the Black Feather. We haven't seen a lot of Black Feather from Eanix, so this is a really good flexible composition. They could put Black Feather lane, jungle, crystal weapon, and similarly with Batiste can go captain or can go jungle. So there's Silverboom just need to get a comfortable composition. They can't go Celestial Crawl, they banned it away. They're going to get the Kestrel, that's a skill shot hero. Very likely to be, we tend to see weapon, but I think Crystal Kestrel is going to have more of an emergence due to the slight changes to how stealth heroes work. Now you can walk into a bush where someone else is, provided they don't have vision freely, but it's going to be a weapon Kestrel. How would you counter this Kestrel, Samuel? Maybe an assassin, but then again, then you're going triple melee against Kestrel, which isn't the best idea.
Well, it's not exactly triple melee because honestly, what Batiste tries to achieve in team fight is not really just going up front and hit you. They just want to land that bad mojos and of course that Ordain as well. But they are going to finish a team comp up with that Catherine that was led through. And we kind of did forget about when draft was going on. And Catherine, a very good pickup for the side of Eanix. And it boggles my mind as to why the side of Superboom not prioritizing that Catherine and instead going for that Lara, since Catherine does quite well against a Lara. And on top of that, Catherine is a very good counter, reliable check into that of Castro and Samuel as well.
I'm very surprised Catherine was let through, and we kind of forgot about that. But yeah, Catherine's a great pick against someone like against Kestrel. So I think it's really smart for them to pick Catherine and push that Batiste into Crystal, because that's probably the best decision for them. Because with the weapon Black Feather, they're going to be all right against this Kestrel, and now that means they can also the Crystal Batiste will be able to try and outpoke Samuel. It'll be quite hard, but if Batiste gets his Ordained onto Samuel, then Batiste is going to do really well, and Samuel's going to be really stuck.
Yeah, but I must say though, I'm really liking the draft coming up from Eanix. It just seems so much more balanced. Whereas the side of Silverboom, a lot of squishies that, you know, the side of Eanix can just take full advantage of, especially if the weapon Black Feather, if, you know, they are not running double crystal, which is very unlikely, and there will be a weapon Black Feather. He can just dive onto the back lines and just tank up a lot of damage as well, going up against this Castro. Whereas, you know, the side of Silverboom, they really need to poke from afar and before even committing into a team fight. And so far, just Eanix's draft just so much better as compared to that of Silverboom.
Yeah, I think Eanix, that last pick, Catherine, was something that we weren't expecting, because you don't expect Catherine to get that far in the draft. But it was a fantastic decision to decide to push that Batiste into Crystal and then make it a weapon Black Feather. Obviously, weapon Black Feather will have a little bit of trouble farming, but nowhere near as trouble as the Glaive did. The main reason I didn't want the triple melee comp was because last time when seeing a Black Feather in lane who can use his on point to secure CS, whereas Glaive just had nothing like that. If he afterburns to secure CS, that's a terrible decision, and it puts him out of position, and he hasn't got an afterburn. Whereas Black Feather on point to CS makes a lot more sense. So I think it's a smart draft from Eanix, as you said, and they're going to have to execute it well. But Silverboom have got poke comp, so if poke is landed by Silverboom, they have a chance to win this game.
Yep, very good point there, and thank you for that awesome, or rather insightful analysis, Minimizer. Casting and of course talking about this game alongside me, Lakshura, I have Asurai.
Honored to join you right now, listener, as we're going to be starting off our first game in this second best of 5 series between, again guys, Silverboom and Brenchum. Actually, the other thing that I kind of noticed from Silverboom's composition is I feel like they don't really have a much more secure way of landing their crowd controls compared to Eanix's, wherein they have, again, the Merciless Pursuit from the Catherine. And I feel like the Ordained is an easier skill to land than the Oblivion from the Samuel.
Definitely. I mean, for the Ordain wise, you really just...
But I'll hold you to it first because Pain Sandy is taking a lot of, obviously, pain. But there you see Silver Boom was able to respond in time, and they get themselves that first blood.
First blood. And for the side of Silver Boom, and one more thing that we must note, Lei Kang is finally joining his team and playing for the playoffs. So the side of Silver Boom really have got equal chances to even win this match. If not, then take this for a 3-0 because Lei Kang is playing. And Lei Kang, as we saw, for every match that he does go on, very high chance of winning, like I said before draft. But Asarai, just a very quick question.
Who did not see that happen, but it is the invade of Angry Die and Rubber Monkey to actually get the kill on the Samuel. They know that the Samuel is going to be stronger once he hits that level 2 against the Batiste, so they just want to stop that from happening. And now they're trying to get the tree in, but what cost? They might lose their lives. Rubber Monkey trying to run away, as well as Angry Die here on the sides. They're not going to be able to chase down to the Catherine just because, again, she got them boots and she got them Merciless Pursuit out.
But maybe not even enough. Rubber Monkey taking them very low.
Sidesteps? It's not gonna be enough. No chance.
I mean, you can't quite sidestep a basic attack at the end of it all, but Angry died looking for so bad, very bad. Or is it the other way around?
And wow, what a start here for Silver Boom. Already 3 kills before that 3. Okay, so we're gonna be seeing Rubber Monkey as he tries to get back into the lane, or rather into his jungle, maybe to give a little bit of support here for I Angry You Die.
Yep.
He is on a crystal power Batiste, and yes, there you're back. Okay.
Oh no, because I thought you okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So, but anyway, so coming into this game, Silver Boom just seems so much more confident with Lei Kang on that lane rather than, you know, usually and traditionally for a lot of matches so far we've been seeing so bad, very bad, and not very confident. Ooh.
He was too overextended in the range of that turret.
Rather exciting first match so far between that of Eanix and of course Silver Boom, with already 6 kills exchanged across the board 3 minutes in. So, you know, coming to this match, Eanix is really just is in for a very good fight up against Silver Boom, and we thought that Silver Boom is really, really weak as compared to the other Vainglory 8 teams, but with Lei Kang as the dedicated laner playing in this game, they seem like they want to change the minds of all the viewers out there.
Yeah, viewers and any spectators alike as well. Maybe even, of course, you know, having a mark in our tournament because, well, if I'm not mistaken, they're at the lowest tier right now of the scoring, but gonna go too heavily into that one as right now Silver Boom are doing a heap of an entrance here against Eanix. There's gonna be a 3v3 fight in the lane, and there you go, they blow up the Samuel. Eanix not gonna back down just yet. Lei Kang though is laying down the hurt as he forces out I Angry You Die from engaging once more. Trophies is right here on the sidelines, diving in with that Black Feather. Rubber Monkey activates a Storm Guard, so he'll be safe for a little bit, but has to back away as his HP isn't on that safe zone any longer.
Yep, there is one thing we must note though. For the side of Silver Boom, they have got that very early sustain coming out from Lyra with that Imperial Sigil. But the side of Eanix not really have got the sustain. So a lot of team fights might go in favor of the side of Eanix, but not so in the late game. I'm expecting now if Gauntlet, if not then Echo, if not then both items picked up for Catherine, since both items saw some changes when patch 2.7 drops, just indirectly buffing Catherine and making her a pure monster in the late game.
So we're going to be seeing here a weapon power Kestrel.
We are indeed going to be seeing a weapon power Kestrel, and honestly, Lei Kang has just been so good. Ooh, Rubber Monkey goes in for a Merciless Pursuit.
But are they going to really pursue into this one as Lei Kang is just, again, just putting out the glimmer shots, putting a good chunk of damage against Eanix here. So what's actually the strength, again, like on a weapon power Kestrel compared to the Crystal Power?
Firstly, it's that once you build enough weapon power, you can just go invisible whenever you want, even when you're taking damage. Whereas a Crystal Castro, once you take damage when your invis or active camo is used, you just get revealed and you cannot go into your active camo state again until after you stop taking damage for 3 seconds or so. So that is one thing that's going for Lei Kang at this point in time. But of course, the invisibility timing on the weapon Castro is not as long as that of Crystal Castro. So that's one thing that we must keep in mind as well. But of course, the damage. Castro, generally you want to have one basic attack, one glimmer shot, basic attack, glimmer shot. That is generally your combo to go to. In team fights at least, and or rather Crystal Castro cannot quite have that combo because your basic attack do not have that ability or that damage output.
Yeah, but now you're gonna see Trophies actually go in, chasing through the active camo, and this is situation with the Black Feather actually winning out the duel. Lei Kang has to be very careful, activates the Rose Offensive. Where is the members of Eanix? Here we go, I Angry Yodai coming in, does have the Fearsome Shade, will actually not use it just yet, as Rubber Monkey is dealing a whole chunk of CC and being the front line here for the meantime, activating his, again, Storm Guard to absorb the damage. Trophies right here again to the sides, and Eanix is having a little bit of a bad time here to chase down onto Silver Boom as their not so poke composition is not dealing as much damage from afar. My goodness, Rubber Monkey very low on the H marker right there, has to back off while his members are going to be trying to defend this lane, as it looks like Silver Boom will be going for a siege.
Yep, I mean, they have got very good siege potential, but I Angry Yodai with that Fearsome Shade.
Oh, there's a 3-man Fearsome Shade coming in from I Angry Yodai. He starts it off strong, and he is just trucking down onto Silver Boom. Will he get so bad, very bad? Yes, he does indeed. And Pain Sandy is going to be the last remnant of Silver Boom before the ace. Are they going to tower dive, or rather turret dive? That is the case. Gonna be a no for that one. But with that in mind, Eanix have free reign over the jungle.
What a turnaround for that team fight. Just Angry Yodai needed to land that Fearsome Shade, and when he did, or rather, he finally did land the 3-man Fearsome Shade into an Ordain, stunning out the team of Silver Boom, and then the Trophies can just go in for the clean up. A threesome Shade, yes, definitely. No. But honestly, that team fight really went very well for the side of Eanix, and if they can just continuously pull off a combination, a combo wombo like they did earlier on, they really can score and win and close out this game very, very swiftly.
Okay. I was wondering if I could have said that. But yeah, that was a huge upset there from Eanix. Still, they weren't able to get the turret, but man, you just see how strong they are in terms of connecting the team fights with their skill sets into the, or rather, one hero to another. Trophies taking quite a bit of poke here, and this is like what Minimiter said is the poke comp from Silver Boom. They're just showing a lot of their strides. There's gonna be uses onto the Blast Tremor. Oblivion will not get the effect that it needs to do, and Lei Kang might actually be in a bad spot right here. He's gonna use the one-shot, one kill, but Rubber Monkey is still alive! Oh my bad mojo, oh my... Double Rose Offensive coming in from Trophies. He's not able to execute anyone just yet, but look at the HP bars of Silver Boom. They're super low, and if I Angry Yodai can connect a bad mojo, that is gonna be, well, not just bad, but it's gonna be worse here for Silver Boom. Drifting Dark from Silence from so bad, very bad. He's gonna trying to go in and force himself into the fight. Lei Kang has to back off as that A from I Angry Yodai is just too painful.
Too painful indeed, but the fight is still going on.
Oh, the fight will not stop. My goodness, Rubber Monkey is on the verge of destruction, but Trophies trying to give him a little bit of support here. Rubber Monkey, oh, he's trying to run away. Whoa, what is happening? Storm Guards, it's gonna give him support, and he's not gonna go down. Rubber Monkey, he is definitely showing his elasticity in these fights, in this clutch save moments. My goodness.
Definitely, that was so close coming out from Rubber Monkey. And honestly, coming into this team fight, I Angry Yodai, you know, more often than not, they... Ooh, I'm so sorry.
It's alright, it's not gonna stop just yet. Silver Boom, they wanted to go for more, and yes, as you were saying, Alusaria.
Yep, a lot of times it's just down to the lack of energy coming out from Iron Gyudai that, you know, they cannot continue with their pursuit, and that is why Silver Boom really has got ho-ho.
And ho indeed, Christmas is gonna come early. Kestrel, the very juicy Kestrel right there. Will they be able to capitalize even more and break down this turret? I think we'll have to see, as So Bad Very Bad has something to say about it. Uses the Drifting Dart into the Manas inverted combo nation, but it's not gonna matter at all as Truffy is just gonna be on that Black Feather, getting the last hit, and now Eanix with the exit out.
Exit out, but with that fearsome shade as well. Hopefully there's no more team fights, so you can catch a breath.
It's alright as Truffy's is playing a little bit of the fancy footwork. Of course, the Casanova has to know how to dance, so it's just gonna dance away from all of that skill shot coming in from Silver Boom. And it seems, Osuria, that we are still for a pretty long and drawn out team fight. Look at the damage though. Lei King is laying down onto the hurt, but they don't even care. Rose offensive gets it. They're looking for the second. Pain Sandy is just on this Lyra, and she gotta back away. Does have the help from that passage, so she'll be able to escape into the loving arms of her turret. But at the opposite side of the spectrum, oh my goodness, So Bad Very Bad gets caught up with the Ordain, and his HP bar is getting ever so low. Activates another Drifting Dart, going for that fancy footwork, trying to keep himself at least alive with the heals from the Samuel, and maybe even actually able to survive the team fight. There's gonna be the one-shot, one kill from the sides, get the shutdown. Oh, Nicholas Finch actually gets it from downtown. Oblivion will not connect onto Truffy's, but this should be clean-up control for Silver Boom. Truffy's trying to run away, as well as I Angry You Die. They're very low in HP for the meantime, but still, they will be able to survive with that far away range. But the active camo here onto the side, Lei King spotting out I Angry You Die, but nope, they're not gonna go for it.
It is almost as if the side of Eanix picks up one, picks up two, not enough, gonna go for the third, but they have already respawned, so I'm gonna go for the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, and it's just never ending. But really good plays coming out from both teams in that very extended and elongated team fight. Honestly, that was just such a pleasure to watch, especially since they're not calling that team fight out. But Eanix, although they have been very aggressive, not much of goal lead here going over to them, just a couple of hundreds, or rather not even a couple of hundreds. They are sitting close to 1,000 gold, but just not quite hitting that 1,000 mark yet. Silver Boom, or rather Lei King, may be caught out right now by Truffy's.
And here we go, another fight will be forced here by Eanix. They are just forcing it right now. They don't even care what happens to this game, as they are just forcing their will onto Silver Boom. There's gonna be the Blast Tremor, Rubber Monkey very low in HP. The Oblivion will not make it happen. For the meantime, another fearsome shade to come out from I Angry Die, only connecting onto two. Pain Sandy is doing the best that he can, but he actually goes into the sidelines, giving himself a little bit out to the fishes, and he will be able to be shut down there by Truffy, actually by the Catherine. That's going to be the one kill. Lei King, very low in HP, has to be very careful here, as one mistake could mean life and death. That turret actually didn't take enough damage, so maybe that's just the little bit of the silver lining here for Silver Boom.
Yep. And just before you are gonna stop, So Bad Very Bad, very low.
Oh no, very indeed, and that's gonna be impressive for the side of Eanix. This turret is trying to support as much as possible his own heroes, but what can they do? It seems that one shot, one kill won't get anybody, as the Storm Guard is just too good. Kraken has awakened as well.
Yep, and I must say, MVP for a lot of fights out there would have to be Rubber Monkey, although Trophies and of course Iron Gyudai picking up a lot of kills, but we see a lot and a little too much. I must say, Rubber Monkey just, just at the brink of death, still dancing within the team fight itself and just body blocking a lot of the skill shots coming out from the side of Team Silverboom, and I guess that is why, you know, Eanix can really just lay down so much damage onto the backline's carry. It's just because they have this cohesion. They know how to play around all the pokes, and of course, we cannot quite forget that Trophies on this Black Feather can just go into the backlines and just go straight onto that Castro. Although now they might be looking for another team fight. Silverboom just porting back at this point in time. Eanix can just take control at this point in time and just go for the Kraken. And this is what they are going to do. Just going to be awakening that very angry she-beast that you do turn.
And again, you know what they say, hell hath no wrath, like a Kraken spawn. And here comes Silverboom. Will they get the last hit? Can they get the steal of the century? Nah, it's not going to happen. Is the man to get the finalizing hit, goes in with the Rose Offensive, but look at the damage from Lei King. He is just putting in all of the hurt. Trophies has to back away with the second Rose Offensive, and I Angry Die is going to be the main damage dealer for the meantime, but the problem is, there is the numbers advantage here for Silverboom, and they get the double kill. That's going to be Lei King laying it down for Silverboom.
Laying it down indeed, and honestly taking this Kraken, they should have just backed off, heal up a little and not look for another team fight. Granted, they kind of do know that they have got the damage, they have got what it takes to win that team fight, but honestly, if you had pushed with the Kraken, they could have gotten 1 or 2 more turrets as compared to what they are going to what they will be taking from this Kraken at this point in time. And you know, I'm not surprised if Angry Die with those buffs to that of
Oh, Trophies 3v1 situation. Mono E3O as he's trying to go in and give the Kraken a little bit of support, and he backs off the Mamba out for Trophies, but it's not gonna happen. He's a little bit too greedy into this one, and he not survive rather. I thought he will, but well, he won't.
I mean, Trophies at this point in time has got a lot of sustain on him. He has got a Poison Shift, he has got a Serpent's Mask as well.
And here we go once again. Eanix is just going at it against Silverboom. Numbers advantage again in the hands of the SB Squadron. But they, for now, will be able to back away. Rubber Monkey has to be very careful because Lei King is on that very scary Kestrel. Look at the damage that he's dealing out. Double Tyrant's Monocle as well.
Yep, double Tyrant's Monocle, and of course, one Sorrow Blade. I'm not surprised if Lei King just do settle for that Matic build and finalizing that last item with that of Bonesaw. So what is happening now is that the side of Eanix really has got the sustain coming up for them, but then for the side of Silverboom, they just have got a ton of burst. So it is just down to how and if Silverboom, or rather Eanix, can put out or just out sustain the side of Silverboom when there's a team fight. And that is why we do see very long and extended team fights coming out from both teams, because of the amount of sustain that, you know, Eanix has got, and of course the amount of burst that they could out sustain for. We do see Bonesaw being picked up by Lei King, and an infusion on Sobat, very bad.
Insanity. Insanity though, he's out of position. He can actually use the get away, but that bad, very bad. In a 2v3, it's gonna be Eanix to go for the chase, and here we go. The fight will break out. There's the Fearsome Shade as well. Shut down on Lei King. This is looking pretty good for Eanix, and they will get themselves a pretty decisive ace, not even losing any of their members. What a fight from Eanix.
And that is the thing that I'm trying to say. If the side of Silverboom really has, you know, they need to be in the backlines, they need to poke before they get committed for any team fights. Because if Eanix do jump on you, you are and will be dead for sure. I mean, no matter how good, very good you play, at the end of it all, you just cannot out-sustain the damage coming out from the side of Eanix, and you really need to poke the side of Eanix though, looking like very bad positioning.
And here, once again, the fight will be forced right now for Silverboom as they're trying to capitalize. Rubber Monkey is the recipient of the damage. There is the passage as well. And I think I Angry Die will leave Trophies for Silverboom. But Trophies, oh, he's going to go for it. If he gets this, this is just going to be the most devastating ever for Silverboom. Will he actually get it? I don't think he will. But he is actually going 1v1 against the Samuel and still surviving. What is happening? Trophy, what are you... He's still at it, going 2v1. He's going to be able to get a little bit of damage, but at least the heals will be good enough for Silverboom at that time.
Yeah, but you know, at that particular health, if the fountain wasn't there for so bad, very bad, I mean the base wasn't there for so bad, very bad, Trophies would have probably healed it all back up just based on the amount of sustain that he has with that poison shift, Serpent's Mask, and of course the burst that, you know, Tension Bow provides. So honestly, I think Trophies kind of thought that he had got that, but then we cannot quite forget that the fountain, or you know, the base of the side of Silverboom is still there. Silverboom with that pickup do go for that crack and unleashing Helga onto that fold. So at this point in time, it looks like a rather even game. All in all, gold lead is in favor of Silverboom, not of Eanix. But what do you think the side of Eanix could do or should do going into this next team fight that might be happening?
I mean, they've already done quite a good job already of catching out Lake Silverboom the best at most of the times in this fight, so they can just do what they've been doing, and again catching off onto the Kestrel. They're trying to bait out Lake King, as Lake King is pretty damn aggressive in this fight, and maybe that is where Eanix will be able to capitalize. Rubber Monkey is very low, he's gonna back away, but I think Silverboom will be able to finish him off. I could be wrong here, right, though, as Trophies is coming in from the sidelines. He's going in. Oh, the damage! They get a double kill, and so bad, very bad. Should gun go down, and here we go. They're just going to ignore Helga. The lady will get ignored.
The lady, not very gentleman, coming up from Trophies, or rather that Casanova and the dead man, I guess. I agree with that. But honestly, if you think about it, they don't really have to quite, you know, give the lady any attention at all. They can just finish this game. And the first game between Silverboom and Eanix do go over to Eanix with very good plays and very even plays throughout. Eanix really, or rather, Lei Kang really proving like a force to be reckoned with. As long as he's in his team, Silverboom still do stand a chance.
Yeah, but wow, that was just a pretty, I would say, not a one-sided match. Silverboom really had some shiny moments there, with Lei Kang just again being on his damage roll, and is pretty effective on that. I mean, Silverboom are a different team from when, you know, Lei King doesn't play for them, and I feel like this might actually push into give or take game 4, even a possible game 5.
Yeah, but to talk more about that game and what has happened, we have the awesome Minimizer.
Thank you for that, Luxuria, and as well as some fantastic casting. And I really want to point out in that game, it was so even. Before first Kraken was taken, there was literally a 0 gold lead for anyone, pretty much. It fluctuated between either team. And then once that first Kraken was taken, Silverboom played well, they defended it well, and then the real problem for Silverboom was that when Eanix fought together, they won. That's what we saw in the last team fight. That's what pretty much happened, because Blackfeather, when he went in 1 versus 3, he didn't do very well. Again, when they went in 2 versus 3, it didn't really work out for Eanix. But when they fought together, Blackfeather managed in the last team fight to do a fantastic Rose offensive to block the stun from the active camera from Kestrel, and also to get on top of Kestrel, do damage to Samuel on the way. And yeah, so I think they played well together. It was interesting that on the Batiste, Iron Gudai didn't actually have a reflex block. So there was nothing really to block except Oblivion and maybe active camo, but he dodged them really well. And so Eanix executed their comp well, but there's definitely a chance for Silverboom, as you said. And so we're going to head on in to the second draft.
So jumping into the second draft between Eanix and Silverboom, we, you know, constantly, we've said it, the casters have said it as well, in the Vainglory 8 series, that Trophies really is a one-trick scarf, but he's proving like he can play that Black Feather and to an extending extent as well. And honestly, he did very well on that Black Feather, being able to pick up and go into the back lines to pick up that of Castro. And of course, a lot of beautiful Rose offensive coming out from him as well. But into this draft, we do see, though, the side of Eanix just taking out that Catherine as priority.
That is true. Trophies was called a one-trick scarf by quite a few of the players, and so yeah, definitely showing that, hey, I'm actually good on other heroes. I'm just fantastic on scarf. So ban it away from me, or I'll beat you with it. So yeah, he's played. It's good for him to get that victory. But obviously, he needs to be careful of the comp that Eanix are able to pull out. They're on A side now, so they can get the competition if they want to. Of course, we've seen Lyra first picked on A side in every single game today, because she's just the best captain behind Catherine, and Catherine gets banned all the time. And so I think it's smart for Eanix to pick her. We haven't seen much Arden. Arden's another very viable captain. So now this is the time when Eanix can try and get the comp they want, and Silverboom have to either deny it or counter it. They could ban away the scarf. You could also get rid of Cruel, but they could pick it themselves. So I doubt Silverboom will ban it. Maybe Eanix is going to ban Cruel if it's left. If maybe Idris is banned away by Silverboom here.
Definitely. I think Eanix really, or rather the side of Silverboom, really would just want to ban out that Idris, because that has been the pattern and ongoing thing for them. But they might just ban out that Cruel as well. Oh, they are going to go for the glaive, because the only reason I say Cruel, because the side of Silver, they went for the Cruel ban firstly, and they kind of did well in that game. So they might just want to pick up the Cruel for themselves just to deny Angry You Die. If not, then the entirety of Eanix, that Cruel. If not, then pick up that Scarf for that hot box effect that, you know, Arden and Scarf do bring to that table. Because, I mean, constantly the meta has been rotating and just, you know, revolving around these few heroes. That Scarf, that Celeste, that Cruel, that we've been mentioning a lot about. But they are going to settle for the Black Feather.
Yeah, they've left open the Celeste, Cruel, and I'm pretty sure Eanix, if they don't go for their traditional Scarf, might just go for Celeste and Cruel. Because we know they're so comfortable on Celeste. It's one of their comfort picks, and Celeste Cruel is a comp. Celeste Cruel Lyra even is a comp we saw twice today, and it did win twice today. So I think it would be extremely, it would be a really good idea for Eanix just to pick that up. And Silverboom have left it open. Black Feather's quite good against this double stun comp because he has that Rose Offensive to block multiple CCs, but they're going to fall back on their Scarf Cruel. I assume that's just because they're more comfortable on Scarf. This doesn't really have the same effect as the Celeste Cruel comp did, because Celeste has that stun. But I think this will work well for Eanix. Silverboom need to counter this comp. They should have expected Scarf. They should have expected Cruel. And so they're taking a bit of time to think about it, which makes me think they weren't prepared for this pick.
Yep. I mean, they have been, or rather the side of Eanix really have been using this comp on and on forever right now. So I'm pretty sure if Silverboom do watch and have went up against them, they could have definitely picked this comp out and just try to ban it, and that is why the Cruel initial ban. But I think the side of Silverboom and what went through their heads really was, if I ban out the Cruel, Angry You Die can just play another hero. And if I do not give them the Scarf as well, then, you know, that Black Feather, it's rather scary as well. So, you know, they're just going to let them through, or rather let this comp through. And for them, they are going to round out the comp with that Vox and Black Feather. And on top of that, that Arden to give them the support.
Yeah, I think Vox as a last pick is quite good against Cruel, because Vox does work extremely well if you want to Sonic Zoom away when Cruel engages on you. That can work well. But then if you've got a Scarf slowing you, you have to choose whether you Sonic Zoom over the Goop or Sonic Zoom away from Cruel. You can't, obviously, with the reduced cooldown down to, I think, 4 seconds in the late game, or maybe even 5 seconds in the late game. That means Vox is now, it's so much harder for him to just run and kite away from Cruel, whereas before it was much, much easier. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how Silverboom decide to build this Vox. We've seen a lot of Vox being built, Poison Shiv, Tension Bow, Breaking Point, obviously before the nerfs to Poison Shiv and Tension Bow. I think we may see a Serpent's Mask, we may see Breaking Point a bit earlier. What do you think about how they're going to build this Vox, Luxuria?
Well, I'm pretty sure they'll just go back and fall back on the traditional build. Like you said, it will take some time before Vox will find a new OP, quote-unquote, build. I mean, coming into the new update just dropped for a week or so now. But there is one thing that we must note as well. It's that the side of Silverboom, they are running that chase comp with that Arden that, you know, allows them to chase, and of course the Black Feather, and on top of that, that Vox with, you know, a lot of slows as well. So what I'm seeing, or what I can predict so far, it's that Silverboom really want to play the aggressors in that early game, just before Scar farms out, just before Cruel farms out, and then keep up with the chase and try to chase them down, because you can only chase if you're in the lead.
Yeah, we've seen Cruels go for the Tension Bow and very aggressive builds, very early game focused. It's interesting to see whether Eanix is going to go for the same build, or maybe they're going to go for a more late game, a Soul Blade, Breaking Point, and Tank Cruel. It's much less likely. We're probably going to see Tension Bow, Poison Shiv again. And it works well, so why change it if it isn't broken? And I think the Eanix are going to be able to, if they just try and invade with their Cruel, then Scarf will be able to ramp up to late game because Cruel's being a menace. And so obviously Silverboom have to try and prevent that by, as you said, stopping Scarf from scaling up, either trying to invade Cruel or just trying to push Scarf back in lane.
Definitely. Let's see. And of course, the game has started, so let's see. Asarai, what do you think of the team comp coming out from the side of Silverboom?
I feel like with that Scarf and Krull combo, we're just gonna see Eanix go back for their get scrolled kind of comp. Yeah. I got it in.
That was so, yeah, because I saw that, and then I wanted you to just bring it in as a smoother transition. But very well there, we do see an early invade coming out from the side of Eanix. They are, however, gonna just choose to back off and not head up to lane. They are gonna head up to lane, yeah.
Leiking will be spotted out here. It's gonna be at least the Scarf and the Lyra, so maybe a good amount of damage. No first bloods just yet, but oh. I am so wrong, very wrong.
So wrong, very wrong indeed. And we do see the first blood being picked up by Rubber Monkey on that Lyra. And I guess in the early game itself, when no defenses are built up just yet, Lyra has got very good damage. At least the burst damage coming out from the Imperial Sigil is just insane for the early game. Leiking was just not prepared for the damage that's coming out from trophies in this early game. So very bad in lane.
And, well, it's just going to be a 3-man stack here for Silverboom. But Eanix on the opposite side of the spectrum, you can see that Vainglory is just going to be in his own jungle. And he's going to be the happy Krull, just getting the farm and waiting. Just waiting patiently for an opening to go in because he doesn't need to right now. Trophies is just dealing such a huge amount of damage onto Leiking. The lack of range on the Samuel is just showing as of this moment.
The lack of range on that Vox is indeed...
Or rather, Vox.
Just really just putting Leiking in a very bad positioning, especially when you are going up against trophies.
True that, but there's going to be the use on the Imperial Sigil. With that 3-man bulwark just to slow them down from going aggressive onto trophies. But, well, they still find the Lyra in the midst of it all. And Vainglory capitalized. Does he know? So bad, very bad is right. He was just a second too late. Back in the lane, Leiking is just laying down the hurt once again on trophies without the help from Rubber Monkey.
Yeah, but I mean, even then, in the early game itself, trophies can quite poke Leiking out of lane. But it was just down to that team fight. It's so bad, very bad, got trophies really, really low, and thus forcing trophies to port at this point in time. But the side of Eanix looking very strong or very comfortable in this early game as of yet. We do see Vainglory going into the jungle, all so bad, very bad, hoping to pick up this mid-triad.
I think he'll be able to, because again, that Krull does have the Spectral Smite pretty good in getting these chase, or rather these contested picks, but it looks like it's going to be the Blackfeather to get that last shot. Trophies in the lane though, could be in a very bad spot. Look at the damage. Like you said, the chase call from Silverboom is real. From 0 to 100 real quick right here. But the Imperial Sigil will keep trophies a little bit topped off. And goodness gracious, it's good that there's a Lyra.
Yeah, but there is one thing that we must note though. Although so bad, very bad, they are coming up, or rather so bad, very bad, and Pain Sunday is just merely oh, Rubber Monkey.
Rubber Monkey could be in a bad spot here. Does use again that dump slot B from his just for the slow, and well, he's gonna live to fight for another day.
Live to fight for another day, definitely. And I was about to say though earlier on that, you know, although so bad, very bad is constantly coming up to lane to just try to drive trophies out of the laning phase and not give him a pleasant time at all. But we do see Vainglory on that crew just really just farming up, unlike all the crews that we've seen so far that really just wants to go in for the engage. So bad, very bad, caught up by Vainglory and one Spectral Smite.
That was good, really good.
That was good indeed. You look like something came, but you know, back to this game. Vainglory on that crew just trying to put pressure at least in that jungle and not really looking to go up into lane to try to gank Leiking. But I guess it is a rather smart move coming up from Vainglory since Leiking can just Sonic Zoom away. If not, then Resonance or Pulse does Leiking.
Leiking could be in a very bad spot, but no, hold that thought. He's 3 of his teammates to join him into the fight and put a lot of hurt onto I Angry You Die, but he's gonna be able to survive for now. And well, we reach a little bit of the calm before the storm phase here between Silverboom and Eanix.
Yep, I mean, Eanix, or rather, Angry Die now has got access to that from Hell's Heart. He just turned 6. So we might expect a little more ganks in lane, or a little more pressure to be in lane rather than the jungle, because, I mean, he has got good potential for a gank right now with the slows coming out from Shadows Empower Me, his heroic perk. And on top of that, his stun, and if he does land it at boomerang range, then of course it's a 3.3 second stun. But Angry You Die do not know there's a scout trap there that has spotted him out. He really just looks very funny right now. So bad, very bad, going in for the 1v1.
2v1 situation, I Angry You Die very low. Will use the DMR for the meantime, has the shield, but he will actually get the connection onto the stun. So bad. This could be monumental right now for He's surviving the Spectral Smite, it connects, and he survives! I Angry You Die, how did he do that? Here comes Truffies from the side, will be dropping in onto the goop. Lei Kang very low, this is just a Vox, doesn't have a lot of range, and Truffies will go for that chase. He will be able to survive, and Pain Sunday just has to see as his Black Feather got blown up.
Yeah, but honestly, with a Cruel on your team, you really just want to be the ones that engage and not wait for one to engage on you. As we do see, once again, they are having another team fight.
Another team fight, like you said, they're gonna be starting off, but at least Lei King right now has that help from the Vanguard of the Arden, though not a lot of impact just yet. Doesn't have the Gauntlet for the meantime, and it looks like Silverboom are happy that they're gonna be trying to farm, but Eanix, they want more. They want to go in and get that siege already. Pain Sunday will be blocking a lot of the damage onto that turret with his own body, so he's really sacrificing himself right now. Now Angry, he's like, peekaboo, I see you, and then just backs away.
Peekaboo, I see you, but Angry You Die have got a very bad habit. I just realized he refuses to check brushes at all, and you know, so bad, very bad. Do spot him in that try brush. He will be going in yet again, but Angry You Die will just back off with that movement speed granted by his heroic park. And there you go, another fight in lane with Angry You Die not being there. The side of Silverboom really can take advantage at this point in time, just pushing that lane. They've got so much damage, and the fact that Angry You Die not playing like the usual Cruel that we saw, that that's placing a lot of emphasis in lane, means that the side of Silverboom can just slowly farm up into that of the late game and then try to win a late game fight, which is what a Crystal Black Feather and of course Lei Kang on that box excels in.
So now we'll just be seeing, like you said, it's not the regular I Angry that we do see, but Lei Kang is in a world of hurt. And nobody is too cool for Cruel. There's gonna be the shutdown from Eanix, and they're looking for the second one. And so bad, very bad. Got the defense from that turret, but I Angry You Die has gave no respect. Vanguard as well, but there is of course the support from the Lyra, gonna keep him topped off. The heals will be too good, and Truffies is just gonna be able to bombard from downtown. And still though, even though So Bad Very Bad is taking a whole chunk of damage, that turret has not been broken down just yet.
Yep, So Bad Very Bad jumping onto Truffies at this point in time.
Ooh la luya! And it looks like they will be able to 1 kill, 2 the Black Feather. My goodness, this scarf is just what we are talking about. You gotta respect it here from Eanix. And even though Lei Kang got that kill, here is I Angry You Die coming from behind and saying, Lei Kang, I will lay you down. But Pain Sunday is right here. There's the movement speed boost. DMR all day long, baby. It's that kill.
Hallelujah, indeed. Whoever comes up with that. I Angry You Die in a very bad spot now.
2v1 situation though. That Imperial Sigil, look at from their Lyra. You just gotta give it right now to Eanix. Their composition is doing wonders. Even though they dive in, they don't really put themselves in a bad spot just because they have so much, I would say, sustain with the help from that Lyra.
Yeah, but on top of that, though, we must also realize that the goal difference, yet again, is a reflection of the first game. Not much, although across the kill board, we do see, we do see that the side of Eanix have got more kills compared to Silverboom, or rather 3 kills ahead, but not much of objectives secure at this point in time. And it kind of boggles me because, you know, the side of Eanix clearly has got a better objective control as compared to Eanix. Oh, we do see a Spitfire being blown backwards.
Now, Silverboom, as well as Eanix, in a 3v3 in the lane. You're going to be starting off a little bit slow here. FHH is not available just yet for iAngryADie, so they can't initiate just yet, but they are waiting patiently. They're looking, and they're going to start it off. They spot out! My goodness, Late King, what are you doing? He's going to be able to have that movement speed out. Rubber Monkey very low. That gauntlet, though, did not actually make anything happen. Wait for it was used, but the heal as well as that shield was just in the nick of time for Rubber Monkey. iAngryADie will be playing around the brush area to maybe look for an initiation or a reinitiation once again, but he won't find it for the meantime. Trophies, though, of course, again, back with his Scarf, is going to try to pierce through and poke them out from this predicament, but it seems like Silverboom will back away, and Eanix, will they be finding their first turret, or will it be Silverboom to find their own? That's the question, because right now Eanix are going for the siege. Will they be blowing up a team fight once again? Ultimates are not online for most of these players, and look here, it's gonna be Rubber Monkey spotted out. It's gonna be the one trade already. iAngryADie coming from silence as well. DMR, and actually just gonna go in and truck in the damage onto Silverboom. He's going in impressive. Trophies gonna be dealing the damage with the Spare Fire once again. They have to respect the artillery, and he connects it. The FH from Hell's Heart just goes in ham. And Pain Sunday, he's gonna be in a painful spot. He's gotta back away right now as Eanix is just going in wild against Silverboom.
Going in wild indeed, although we do see a very timely Atlas Pauldron that came out from Pain Sunday when that fight came through. But, you know, Cruel just do not care about whatever Atlas that you have. Once he's stuck onto your main carry, I think that main carry should be prepared to go down. I mean, not a lot of peel coming out for the side of Silverboom as well. Granted, you have got a Vanguard from Arden for that extra movement speed. You can kite away, you can Sonic Zoom away from Cruel, but honestly, at the end of it all, that is a Cruel after all. DMR is on and constantly available, and on top of that, if you get a little too far, then of course FH squared will be out and be after you. So that is one thing that we must know. And a lot of team fights, once again, Eanix doing excruciatingly well, but not pushing into any objectives just yet. They did take the gold mine though. Trophies, they will want to protect this turret at all costs. Cruel will be cruising up at this point in time.
So all ultimates are now up for both of these teams, except for maybe Trophy, who still hasn't gotten his Dragon's Breath just yet. Of course, it's not really that contested, or rather not that essential right now for the Scarf. It's iAngryADie's FH squared, like you said, that will start off this pandemonium for both of these teams. But you can see Silverboom are being a little bit jebaited here by Eanix, but Eanix are just waiting, and they find themselves a pretty decent target. And you know who that target is? It's gonna be Lei King once again. There's gonna be the gauntlet used defensively here from Silverboom, just for the defense onto Lei King so that he will be able to survive and get away. But at what cost? Pain Sunday, as well as So Bad, very low in HP, and they gotta back away right now because Trophy is gonna be going in aggressive, gets the one shutdown, looking for the second. Trophies, or rather the turret is down, or rather very low in HP, and here comes iAngryADie once again. He will be blowing it up. Lei King has to dip back into the fight, but that Sonic Zoom will be to his doom, and there it is. Eanix almost getting the ace. Pain Sunday will be surviving, but the damage has already been done.
Damn, Aserai spitting bars right there. Sonic Zoom, and then rhyming it with Doom. Awesome. Just a big thumbs up to you. I mean, at the end of it all, we do see though Eanix really taking up that opportunity, just jumping onto the first carry at first, just scaring Lei King off enough for Lei King to back off. And by the time he does come back into the team fight earlier on, it's just a tad too late. And on top of that as well, very timely or very good Arcane Passage coming out from Rubber Monkey on that Lyra, just allowing Angry Udai to travel a lot of distance with his heroic perk up. Now that Kraken's on the fold, and of course Eanix securing that turret, I must say the side of Silverboom still has got it, not totally out of this game. The side of Eanix only has got a 2k gold lead over that of Silverboom. So, you know, Silverboom, as long as they can just chain that Ardent's Gauntlet together, well, and of course, on top of that, that silence, and then Black Feather has to remember that he must poke before going in.
And he did get the poke indeed. There's the Gauntlet. Truck get caught perfectly. So bad, very low right here. So he's got to back away for the meantime. He's be porting back into the base. If we spot it out, this could be the opening here for Eanix to just go in aggressive. Pain Sunday was slowed down, and LA King into the sidelines. There's the Bulwark as well. Is really good in just zoning out the members of Silverboom. And look at here, Eanix with the cheese plays. Iangu Dai soloing Kraken right now. Silverboom, do they know what's up? Yes, they will. There's going to be the usage onto the flare, but so much zoning coming in from the side of Eanix. Will they get the last hit? That's going to be the case here. There's the silver. Oh, the Spectral Smite. It's not going to happen for you. And here is the Dragon's Breath. Kaboom! It comes out, and look at it, roasting alive Pain Sunday. Oh! Finally, he will get shut down. There you go. FHH down to boot. Roast defensive activated by So Bad, Very Bad. He can get blockage for an Eanix. 2 kills.
Not sure if you're too hyped, so much so that you broke Discord, but I think that is the case. But we do see early on in that team fight, it was Cruel throwing out FH Squared in the opposite direction, going through Lyra's portal, and we saw this before. It was from Infamous, and yet today we do see yet another time by the side of Eanix. Eanix would definitely be looking to close this game out, but Iron Udai looking like he is down on energy. Dragon's Breath do come out just to try to zone.
All right,
FH Squared, move, you're back.
And here we go. This could be it. Is this just gonna be the G? Comes Silverboom. They're gonna be coming out trucking, but well, it looks like they're gonna get the second kill as well. But Iangry Dive does have the help from the Kraken, and they are just gonna start to batter down onto the turret. He's gonna try to kamikaze his way to at least break down that last turret, and you know what happens? You have the Lyra, you have the Krull, so here comes possibility of the backdoor.
Yep, the back door is now open, and I'm not surprised. Pain Sunday really need to put down vision at this point in time. He has got 2 scout traps in his pocket. There is none though, however, whatsoever in that base. So if Lyra do take the long route going through that Crystal Sentry, but I'll take that back because there are other scout traps around in the jungle. So I don't think that a backdoor will be done through the bottom. It might be from the top. And if that's the case, that will be pretty much the front door. We will see Lyra picking up that echo. So in case the first Arcane Passage fail, at least you've got a backup. Am I right? But, you know, in that team fight itself, although they scored an ace, rather, for the side of Silverboom, they scored that ace, but I must say it went really well for the side of Eanix. With one Kraken, they managed to push down and crack open the base, coming up with Silver as well. So they definitely do have got this game, and they now sitting just still the same 2k difference or 2k in the lead. But at the end of the day, they really have got no answer for Iron Die on their crew. And on top of that, no answer for trophies as well. Granted, they cannot try to take Cruel down in as first priority. They have to go on trophies. They have to go for trophies.
Oh, sneaky beaky light, but the flare will actually get some glare into Rush. This could be bad, so bad for Silverboom as their shenanigans plan actually turns around onto them. There's gonna be defensive usage. Double Gauntlet coming in from the Ardent. I Angry Day will get shut down, and maybe I could have actually wrong here as they get themselves a pretty nifty pickoff onto the Krull. They're gonna be chasing down onto the members here of Eanix, but they still have their first turret up, so they can back away with that one. There's still Rubber Monkey giving so many heals for trophies, and this is the poke at the lane here for Eanix right now. They're gonna be trying to at least keep Silver Boom at bay, and that is what they're doing. 20 seconds force iAngry to come back, and there is no capitalization just yet for Silver Boom, except for that one kill. Again, another bulwark. Look at the damage coming in from Lei King, but he is in a world of hurt. That goop is just booping him. There's the Dragon's Breath. They're chasing him down. They want to go aggressive. Trophies. Yes, gotta be careful, but he is dipping in out of the fight so perfectly. They're gonna be making the Lyra their next target, but this could be bad. The shields, the heals, making this Lyra survive for so long, and oh my goodness, Silver Boom! That's not a gold play. It's a bronze play coming in. And the shutdown. Oh, the humanity, and this should be it. GG. The GG push coming in from Eanix. Ah, what just happened?
That was 1v3, and at this point in time, if you have Scream debated, it would most probably apply for that team fight itself. The side of Silver Boom just a tad greedy, went in for that Lyra, not caring, not giving a single care about trophies whatsoever, and trophies managed that 1v3. Really good plays coming out from Eanix. That this is the second round. They are in the lead 2-0, and of course, to share the excitement, to share the hype with us, we have the awesome Minimiter. Take it away.
Back into the House of Fold, ready for this third game between Silver Boom and Eanix. Eanix obviously 2-0 up, so Silver Boom need to win this game, otherwise they'll be knocked out. And talking with me about this third draft, I've got Luxuria.
Hello, and after that previous, or rather those amazing games, performance at least coming out from the side of Eanix, I'm really excited coming into this third game.
Yeah, so am I, and let's just get straight into it. The draft is ready. Without further ado, we are just going to head straight into the draft.
We are into draft at this point in time, and I must say, Eanix, when you do allow that Lyra, that, you know, Celeste, oh sorry, Scarf, and of course that Cruel through, I don't know, you are just playing into their favors, and of course you are playing into their court. And especially trophies on that Scarf, picking up the very early kill onto Lei King on that Fox was just amazing. But for now, into this draft, we do see a Lyra being picked up now for the side of Silver Boom, and of course for the side of Eanix, they are going to settle for that Glaive and then banning out that Batiste.
Yeah, Silver Boom going to be happy with picking up the Lyra, making sure Catherine is not available. They managed to pick Catherine in the last game, but it didn't quite work out, and I think that the Lyra pick we've seen every single game today, Lyra has been first picked. It's so important to just have Lyra as a pick, and that's a great ban. Get rid of Scarf, because you know Eanix love to play it. They're probably going to get Celeste anyway, but that's just pushing them onto their second favourite carry, not allowing the just absolute menace that they are on Scarf, not letting that through. And the first Kestrel of the day is now likely to be possibly Crystal, because that Glaive is either Captain or Weapon Power. And so, unless they want to pick a Crystal carry last, that we could be seeing a Crystal Kestrel, which I would quite like to see.
Honestly, I prefer a Crystal Kestrel. But one more thing, they might just run double weapon.
That's true.
You know, yeah, double weapon. It's quite still doable at this point in time, especially since Glaive tend to build that tension bow very early on, and one of Kestrel's mainstream build would be that Sorrow Blade into tension bow, afterwards into Talon's Monica, if not in Tornado Trigger, and then into another tension bow, Bone Saw. So for the side of Silver Boom, we will be seeing that Baron, and it is a good time for Eanix right now to just go for that double weapon power, to try to burst that of Baron down, unless they can put this Glaive onto the roam roll and then pick out that Taka that I'm going to die. It's kind of famed for as well.
Yeah, that certainly would be a fantastic decision. Going Taka to dive into Baron, Chitin over some of his damage, or the double shot, or even Chitin the core collapse from Celeste. So that would work really well. Be able to pretty much delete whichever carry they choose. That does force Kestrel to be weapon, but that's not too much of a problem. They also could go for maybe an Arden, and then just have the Glaive in jungle against Celeste, which will work fine. And then a lane Kestrel would be good against Baron. I think they shouldn't go lane Glaive. We saw it didn't work against Baron because he could focus you so hard to stop you farming up. and they're deciding to go for the Black Feather. So again, we still don't know if this is what's weapon, what's crystal between Black Feather and Kestrel. It could be both weapon, as you said, double weapon comps do work. Or I think it's most likely to be a crystal Black Feather and a lane weapon power Kestrel. Although I would love to see Eanix change it up. We know Black Feather has been played before well by them.
Yep, definitely. But you know, even with the CP Black Feather, they do very well against that of Baron as well. And on top of that, with that Casual, if Casual do go on lane in the lane, then Casual will definitely just outpoke Baron in that of the early game, since you can farm from afar, and your glimmer shots in the early game, especially for the weapon Castro or even just the crystal Castro itself, does a lot more damage than jump jet double shots coming out from Baron, of course, in that of the early game. And the Glaive being put on the captain role, I really like that, because your gank potential with this Glaive would just be insane. Granted, all the teams would know that you'll be babysitting in that lane with your carry, but even that, it is just that little bit of surprise element that Baron cannot quite run out of. If you do jump jets in to try to secure minions, or if not, just jump jets in to be very aggressive.
Yeah, I do agree. I think it'd be a good idea for Glaive to stay in lane, try and keep Baron at bay, make sure that he either gets ganked by a good afterburn into Black Feather being faint apart, diving in, or just to make sure Baron doesn't stop your lane and CSing too well, whoever it is, Black Feather or Kestrel. So I think that would be a good idea. And early game Kestrel really has to pressure Baron. If Kestrel just allows Baron to farm up, get those items, it's going to be really hard for Eanix to be able to win this in the late game, with Celeste and Baron being extremely strong.
Definitely, and on top of that as well, with that Lyra and the Bright Bulwark in the late game, if utilized well, can stop any advancement from Glaive, Casual, and even that of Black Feather. So that is something that the side of Eanix really had to put some thought through. So for this current draft, I must say I favor the draft coming up from Silverboom, only because of how strong they are in the late game, and seeing how they were playing Reese, in the previous matches, although they lost out to the side of Eanix. But at the end of it all, they kind of do have it at the end of the day. So as long as they can pull through the early into the mid game, not allow too much harassment coming out from the side of Team Eanix, the side of Silverboom definitely would have this game.
I want to disagree. I think Eanix actually have a strong draft, because I think Eanix aren't going to let Silverboom get to late game. I think they're going to use the Black Feather, use the Glaive's afterburns to just constantly either stop Celeste from farming up her jungle or gank Baron in the lane. So I think Eanix are going to have this game.
Yep, so it's 50-50 on the desk at this point in time. As we are about to jump into game, Mini, you agree that you think Eanix will just push the early game, but all the games so far, we do see that, Eanix not very, decisive in that early game, especially I agree you die on that Cruel in that previous game.
That is true. We definitely saw Eanix like to ramp up to late game when they have their Scarf and they have heroes like that can play well in the late game. And we saw in both games, I think it was about 15 minutes in, there was no gold lead for either team. And in the second game, it was 10 minutes in, there was no gold lead for either team. So Eanix may be playing out of their preferred playstyle by trying to be aggressive early on. But I do think that it's going to be reasonably easy for them to do so if Black Feather just tries to go on top of Celeste. Because if Celeste engages before you do, she's probably going to win the poke war. But if Black Feather dives in first, Celeste is going to be in a lot of trouble, especially if he dodges her cold collapse.
Yep, so we are 50-50 yet again in the draft, although I try to counterpoint you, Mini. But thank you for that analysis. And of course, talking about this game alongside me, Lakshara, we have the most amazing Asarai.
Yes, I am back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So this might be the last game of this best of 5, as Eanix have proven to time and time again outbest Silverboom. And to offset that 50-50 from our analyst desk, for me, I kind of find Eanix's comp a little bit better, because they do have that pick off in the early game, and it seems that that's going to happen right now, as Pain Sunday is in a world of hurt, does have that movement speed away, so he'll be able to skedaddle on away from there. And who gets the last shot on the Treant? It's going to be I Angry You Die.
Yep, very good invasion, or rather just a slight invasion coming up from Vainglory, understanding that he has got a stronger early game as compared to that Celeste, but so bad, very bad. May just want to come for this Treant at this point in time. Unfortunately, do not get it. And Glaive, Rubber Monkey on that Glaive, Rubber Monkey on that Glaive, wow. Will be rotating up to lane.
And it seems like there's going to be a 3v2 here, and now, oh, there's going to be a little bit of a discrepancy right there as Trophies will try to back away, and Rubber Monkey on the is going to be able to survive as he does have enough range to get away from the bombardment, so to speak, from Silver Boom.
Yeah, picking up 2 contracts on Rubber Monkey. First, it's that Dragon Blood contract for the extra slow when you do Afterburn in, and of course the extra crystal power that you get when you activate it, and of course the Iron Guard as well, just to help out with the sustain, especially since Trophies is a melee hero, has to be very close to the minions when he's trying to CS, and as Minimizer said, with that Leiken can just take advantage of that closeness to minions and just poke out that of Trophies. All 3 of the side of Silver Boom in the jungle to pick up this Elder Treant.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, Rubber Monkey will try to steal that Treant tonight, but it's not going to happen. Although they give enough room for Trophies to actually get a little bit of decent CS in the lane, as there is a lot of skirmishes happening in the jungle right now. With the fadeaway Glimmer Shot, will still survive with a very low amount of HP.
Yeah, Rubber Monkey did actually manage to get that Treant, if I'm not wrong. But then again, we do see though, so bad, very bad, constantly rotating up to lane, and not so much coming up from Vainglory, granted, and a lot of his play style recently, and of course in the previous 2 games as well, we did see he really wants to farm up, get his items, get his levels before he be dynamic as a jungler, and it's just allowing him and of course Trophies to farm up as well. And whereas for the side of a Silver Boom, we do see so bad, very bad, just constantly trying to put pressure in lane, and it's understandable why Vainglory, when I just say that, he comes up to lane, trying to take out lane.
And look at this damage coming in. Oh, Rubber Monkey hits it hard onto Pain Sunday and gets the first blood. But on the opposite side of the spectrum, it's going to be Leiken with a revenge kill. He didn't have the help from that turret, so he is pretty a-okay, but Vainglory. Look at that piercing through with the damage from the Glimmer Shots, and he shuts him down. And so bad, very bad, a little bit too late to the party, and he might actually get, well, you know, the party pooper, as he is very low. But there you go, Pain Sunday will be healing him back up.
And they are gonna chase after Vainglory on this Castro. Really dangerous position at this point in time. But Rubber Monkey is just there to help out and try to peel for Vainglory on that Castro. I'm not surprised though if Vainglory do actually want to settle for that Frostburn at first pickup. Oh, we do commonly see that Shatter Glass, but time and time again we do see that Frostburn Castro being very worthy as well as an item pickup or item build path because of the extra slow you get from your Glimmer Shots, just aiding, you know, Black Feather in the chase, if not then in terms of damage as well. But you know, we do see, and Minimizer did say earlier on that as long as Eanix fight as a team, they would definitely win those team fights, whereas they do not want, or on the side of Eanix, do not want to go in.
Yeah, do not want to go in, but for now it's gonna be all Eanix are going in with that dive, or rather that pick-off type of composition, in-your-face type of composition. Rubber Monkey to set it off, but it will not blow up anybody from the side of Silver Boom as they have that line.
Yep, they do indeed. And I was expecting a lot more engagement coming out from Rubber Monkey on that Afterburn from Glaive, but I guess at the end of the day you can't quite do so, because if you do Afterburn in punt Leiken towards Trophies, Leiken can just jump jets away and it will be all for naught. So I do understand the position coming out from Eanix at this point in time, trying to just play passive, match the stats on Leiken, but as I'm gonna say that, Rubber Monkey in the mustache bush of Silver Boom, maybe looking for Celeste right now, but we do see Vainglory on that Castro just roaming up into lane to try to secure this first turret. If not, then just put damage on it.
Yeah, you can see that there is gonna be, like you said, that 3-man rotation. Pain Sunday doesn't even know what hit him. He's gonna be able to escape, but his health is so low as well. It's so bad, very bad. He actually will go in with the response using that Solar Storm, but look at iAngry Die. He's going in from the side as well. This is not a good position right now for Silver Boom, as iAngry Die coming from silence has so much range on that Glimmer Shot, and Trophies will be able to survive. Good connection with the Afterburns onto Lei King. And Lei King does use the jump jets, does get the kite in on kite away rather from the side here on Silver Boom. And where is So Bad Very Bad in a 1v1 against Angry Die? He gets taken down with the help from that Crystal Sentry. So there's actually a 2v1 right there happening, and Silver Boom able to get a little bit of an upper hand right here. And right now, So Bad Very Bad chasing down onto Trophies that he'll be able to port back or port away from the fight.
And yet again, we do see the same mistakes coming out from the side of Eanix, trying to go in for that 1v3, if not then 1v2. Like said, Crystal Sentry kind of hurts a lot, and you do not really want to go in to the jungle of Silver Boom at this point in time, especially since you do not have any form of vision in the Tri-Brush, if not then, you know, in the enemy's jungle itself. So quite a mistake, quite a big mistake costing Angry Die's life there, but I'm sure if they do fight in 3, like we see in lane, all 3 members.
Oh, Pain Sunday. My goodness, that's the second time, and finally Eanix gets that shutdown, and from the looks of it, they're not stopping just yet there. Turret has taken quite a bit of a beating here from iAngry Die. He's pushing out Lei King so that Lei King won't be able to respond or keep this turret safe for the meantime. The wave is here, but Pain Sunday is coming back online. He's only level 5, so no passage just yet. So this could be a pretty good opener for Eanix, as there is no quote-unquote mobility skill coming out from Pain Sunday. Rubber Monkey will try to dive in, but he respects Silver Boom enough that he will back out immediately, and Silver Boom able to defend.
Yep, Silver Boom will be able to defend, but 1-shot 1-kill do come out yet again, so they're very bad.
Ooh, the damage. Here's the follow-up, and still surviving. Look, coming in, and Lei King has been laid waste here by Eanix. It's gonna be the 2-for-2 trade though. Captains alive, Rubber Monkey and Pain Sunday are gonna be in a smash fight that I don't think anybody would actually be winning. So that's just gonna be a 2-for-2.
But I personally think Pain Sunday can win in that 1v1, especially since Pain Sunday is kind of topped up on that energy, and a lot of Imperial Sigil will be coming out if Pain Sunday do choose to go for that fight. But they are going to back off, as all 2 members that, you know, have a visit to the graves, to their graves, are now back. So, you know, in that team fight alone, although we do see that it's kind of equal, they trade 2-for-2, but we must see also, and we must realize and not just deny the fact that, you know, Lei King on that Baron has got a lot of damage now that he has got the Sorrow Blade Tension Bow, and in fact, at this point in time, has got an infusion in that pocket of his. Whereas for the side of Eanix, we do see Trophies just burning through half the infusion, and iAngry Die looking for more.
They're gonna be starting off iAngry Die though. Lei King, he should be called Play King, as So Bad Very Bad was also able to capitalize on that one. Second hero kill right now for Silver Boom, and Eanix are slowly but surely losing control into this game. Trophies will be trying to get that port back out to base, but he'll just clear out the way before heading back.
Yep, iAngry Die tried going in for the cheeky back door, I must say, but didn't quite make it in time. 1-shot 1-kill, not able to secure that gold mine. Ooh, Trophies.
And he gets punished. But here is iAngry Die. He'll be spotting out So Bad Very Bad. Rubber Monkey with initiation has the... Oh, wait. What? Rubber Monkey, he rode the passage downwards, and... Okay, they get away.
He did get away indeed, and that was a rather good pot, not so good pot coming out from the side of Pain Sunday, or rather on Pain Sunday, but Rubber Monkey just ignoring all the existence of Silver Boom right now. Face checking, face front first, and this is what I'm talking about. Eanix just do not have the traditional early aggression playstyle that we are seeing from the other teams, and that they just allowed, you know, Lei King to get this far. And in fact, with that team fight, Just now, Laking did not even pop that infusion. You do see though, Angry Dai going in with those glimmer shots, but not putting out as much damage as expected, especially since he's only sitting on one Shatter Glass and triple Crystal Blade.
Defensive usage on that Rose offensive from Trophy. Very bad, but the heals is just too much here from Pain Sunday. And wow, Silver Boom are going for the El Clasico death ball maneuvers on any game that I've seen. And it seems that, well, can Eanix, quote unquote, pierce through this with that on point from, rather, with just the Black Feather, or that glaive? That's going to be the question for the day as Trophies has got caught out. Oh my goodness. That Rose defensive. There's the passage as well. Solar Storm will be absorbed by Rubber Monkey, and Silver Boom are going heavy at it. The damage, the crits going aggressive onto Eanix right here, and they have to respect, again, this poking death ball. That is Silver Boom.
Poking death ball. Pretty interesting term that you used there, but we do see Silver Boom in this game just kinda controlling the flow of it, picking up 2 early targets for themselves, and is 4k ahead in kills. We did say, or rather Minimizer did say, that Eanix really need to play into the early game when Baron is still weak, but that didn't quite happen, that didn't quite come through for the side of Eanix. You know, like I said, in the early game, Rubber Monkey was pretty much just chilling in that brush, not executing a lot of good team fights with that afterburn. Even this turret proving to be a tough one to take down.
And it's gonna be a bit of a pickle here for Eanix to find that special formula to get a kill. So bad, very bad, down to 40 HP. But that's not enough here for Eanix to capitalize on, because again, Pain Sunday can just heal it straight back up, and look at that. So bad, very bad, not even flinching. It's gonna be the aggressive users onto the passageway. Oh goodness, I Angry Die gotta back away. Rubber Monkey right here, using again that defensive afterburn just to push people back, and Trophies is gonna be in a very tricky spot. He has to be the one to deal the damage from backline. I Angry Die will be the one to follow as well. But Silver Boom, or like you said, starting to handle this game, are in the driver's seat.
Yep, they are manhandling the side of Eanix at this point in time, and it's kind of sad to see Angry Die getting rooted by that Treant. Quite sad not being able to take the Treant. Ooh, and
forcing it to V3 situation. And it's a kill here for Silver. They get 2 kills. My Angry Die not even close at all. Won't be able to give any support. Now 10-5 with the 4,000 gold lead. Silver Boom are looking to push this into a pretty fair game in this best of.
Yep, Angry Die took about 15 to 20 seconds trying to secure that mid-Treant of his, because he was rooted. And yet again, same mistakes coming out from Eanix, going in for a 2v3. I mean, at the end of the day, you may think, or rather the side of Eanix may think, that Silver Boom is just a man alone, but looking at their rotation so far, they are constantly in trees, they are going in threes, and they are rotating in threes as well. Even in the early game, when So Bad, Very Bad just trying to protect that Baron of Celestis at least, and just rotating up to lane, constantly just providing the amount of poke, or rather the constant poke and harassment in that early game. And Trophies really got no answer, because Angry Die did not rotate as much, and when Angry Die did, it was a tad too late. We do see a lot of vision coming out from the side of Silver Boom as well, trying to just nerve and take this Castro down. All in all, especially since when she's in stealth, and Castro, not really, you can't play a Crystal Castro like you do with a weapon Castro. You really need to come in from the backs, put down that active camo, and then try to land a 3-man stun.
Oh, Laking though. Laking could get caught out here. Where is that trap coming? Well, at all, the damage! There's a Solar Storm as well, but they'll get 1-for-1 trade right here and right now. You can see though, the heals, the Celeste bombarding from downtown, and Trophies has to play a little bit of footsie footwork right here. Can he actually get it? Can he dive back in onto So Bad, Very Bad, make it into a 2-for-2, and maybe even the 3-for-2? But it's not gonna happen, as there's just too much Silver Boom for Eanix to handle for this moment. That's gonna be the ace and the Kraken to capture as well.
Yep, that would be the ace. And very good play coming up from Iron Dai, just trying to bait, you know, Lei Kang into the trap, but just a tad too little damage. Lei Kang got stunned, but got blocked. He actually blocked that stun with that jump jets in. He got very low, but did manage to finish Iron Dai with just one shot of that rocket launcher. So good play, but not very effective when it comes to this late game, especially since Lei Kang has got so much damage now.
You can see though that, oh, sneaky, I agree. The flares will push him out. He's got to respect Silver Boom right here, as they have already got the crack, got the damage. They actually have everything, all the tools necessary for pushing this best of 5 into a game 4. It's already, if I'm not mistaken, 2-0. If they can get that 2-1, it's going to be at least the possibility of the comebacks here for Silver Boom. But Eanix, if they can find that one good pickoff, they still might have a chance into this one, but not a lot.
Yep, I mean, with the amount of damage coming out from the side of Silver Boom, it will be surprising.
Oh, they're going in aggressive, and they're going aggressive as much as they can. Iron Dai right here into the sides, putting a lot of hurt with that glimmer shot, but it's still not chipping. Look at how much HP Silver Boom still has left. There's going to be the rotations coming in from Rubber Monkey. He's going to go aggressive. There's the Solar Storm as well. One shot, one kill will still not get the shutdown onto anybody. Turret is destroyed, and this is still into a 3v3. Can they do it? That core is very low. Only Iron Dai will survive. Not enough energy should be pushed into game 4. Silver Boom are still in this best of 5.
Silver Boom is indeed, and a lot of mistakes coming out from the side of Eanix, probably getting a little too complacent going up against Silver Boom. And, you know, honestly, Silver Boom just played very, very well in this third game of this best of 5. And, you know, like Minimizer did say though, and did mention that Eanix really need to play their early game, which they did not. It is just so out of their play style. But of course, talking more and breaking this game down as to why Silver Boom came out on top of this game 3, we have Minimizer.
Thank you for that, Luxuria, and Azurai for the casting. And I think, obviously, the main problem for Eanix was that they didn't pressure early game and they let Baron ramp up. But even then, it was still possible for them to turn the game around, turn the fights around with their Crystal Power Kestrel. The problem it was that Kestrel built double Shatterglass and didn't have a single item of Pierce. The double Shatterglass, Void Battery, and Crystal Bit in the last team fight, and that was it. She didn't even have a Piercing Shard or a Broken Myth or anything to try and get through the Aegis that Baron had. So when Baron jump jets through a double trap, Kestrel's Glimmer Shot should have killed him straight up. He shouldn't have even had a chance to come back from that. Because she had double Shatterglass, no Pierce, the Aegis did its work for Baron. He tanked the double shot and tanked the single Glimmer Shot and double stun, and was absolutely fine. And one thing I want to point out is I've said that stealth heroes are going to be stronger now, because if you walk into a bush where an enemy is, their name doesn't become visible. But they're actually slightly weaker, because if you walk next to a scout trap, your name doesn't become visible anymore when you're as Kestrel. So Crystal Kestrel doesn't know if you have vision just by her name becoming visible. So now Kestrel gets caught out far more often. You saw Kestrel walking right next to a scout trap because your name doesn't become visible anymore when there's vision on you. So that means Kestrel doesn't know that she's been seen. So when you're ahead against the Crystal Kestrel, you can set the vision down and it won't be popped immediately, because Kestrel just goes, oh, my name's visible, I'll just go and pop the vision that you put down. So that's one thing that does hinder those stealth heroes. But this fourth draft of the day, of this game even, it is ready, so we're just going to go straight into draft.
We are hopping into draft right now, and I must agree with you. But coming into the fourth draft of the day between Eanix on the blue side now, and of course Silver Boom on the red side, we did see, you know, a lot of priority on that Scarf, which is very, very good. But Trophies did not fall back onto that old build that he used to sustain in that first game. Instead, he tried to match the damage coming out from that of Baron. Problem with that is that if you do that, what happens then is you cannot out-sustain the amount of damage coming out from Baron, so you are placed in a dilemma. We do see, though, Eanix not playing around with that Baron no more and will be banning out that Baron.
Yeah, it makes sense. They couldn't counter it with the Black Feather, so they're just going to ban it away. And Catherine ban again. I think we're going to see the 7th Lyra of the day, first picked on A side. And I'd be very surprised if Eanix go for anything else. She's such a strong healer. Catherine's been banned away. There's no point trying to get the Catherine. And they're going to go Grace. We're seeing a different draft from Eanix, which is interesting, I guess. And yeah, of course, they're going to just pick Lyra straight away. Silverboom going to be happy with that. I'd expect to see maybe a Scarf banned again, and then maybe Silverboom pick up the Celeste. But I think Eanix need to get their late game heroes. They need to play into their win condition, which is just get to late game, whereas they're not that good at pressuring an early game advantage, which we've already seen.
Yep, but honestly, I guess I personally think that Grace is still decent pickup. Granted, you have got your Divine Intervention just slightly changed, lowered at least. But you still have got the early game damage. You still have got that movement speed, or rather, you are down 0.2 on your movement speed, but you are still a fast hero. And on top of that, with your not Divine Intervention, rather your Benediction, and of course your heroic perk Retribution, you still do quite a lot of damage in that early game. So if Eanix can utilize the slows and the damage, and of course Holy Nova as well, that 3-man knockup that Grace can achieve, then Grace is a very valuable pickup, especially if they are going to go for that Celeste and of course Cruel. And we've seen it from 5-0 first. As as a team comp, they prefer that Grace over that Lyra, and they play that Grace very, very well as well.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Celeste Cruel today as well. So if it is left open with Scarf being banned, I would very much expect Eanix to pick Celeste and Cruel. So Silverboom should know they should pick one of them now, preferably Celeste, because it also takes it away from Eanix, and that means Celeste, Scarf, Baron, and Kestrel, all bad, all not possible to be played. All the late game carries are going to go, and that's a good draft from Silverboom. They take the Celeste away. Now Eanix have to go, well, I guess, who's the next best late game hero? I suppose we've got Samuel. We may even see a Reza. Reza's been seen to be good late game, so they might pick it. I highly doubt it. I don't think he's good enough. But again, we might see, or maybe they might go for the Sky. Like, there aren't that many late game carries left for Eanix to play, and that's what they like to utilize. And they're going to go for the Samuel, and likely to be an Idris if I think there's the last pick.
Yep, Idris would be a very good pickup right now. If not, then the box is available. But I mean, Eanix likes to play that very sustaining comp as well we saw in the first game, going up against Silverboom. So I'm not surprised if they do pick up, they opt for that Vox and not that Idris. They are going to go for the Black Feather. Trophies once again, just opting for the Black Feather. Hopefully this time he will go for the build that he went in the first game. That build kind of proved a lot. He could actually just go for a 1v2 with that build, although not really recommended since the side of Eanix really plays superbly as a team and kind of shaky when they are going in trying to make those plays with a 1v3 or 1v2.
Yeah, I think he's just more comfortable on Black Feather than he is on Idris, so it makes sense to pick that up. It's a good counter to Celeste, and it works well in this composition. I think as a last pick for their weapon power carry, Ringo is available. Black Feather does fantastic in the Ringo. Vox might be a better idea because he can try and run away. But I still think Idris is the best decision against Black Feather because it's a pretty even match. Yeah, they're going to get it. So Idris lane, weapon power. It's a pretty even match against Black Feather. I suppose you could say Idris got nerfed in his weapon power chakram ratio, but it's only a 10% reduction. It still hits quite hard, and against Black Feather it wasn't going to do much anyway. It's still not going to do that much against Black Feather. So I think Idris makes a lot of sense, and yeah, it was a good last pick from Silverboom.
Definitely, I must agree with you. Yet again, Silverboom proves like they can draft. And in this game and in the previous game, in fact, they drafted so well against Eanix, just taking away the mages from them, forcing, the Samuel on them. And we did see, though, Samuel has been picked up throughout the series at least, but not very high win rates throughout because of how, Samuel kind of falls off in the late game. We must agree to that, especially as compared to the other majors out there, like compared to that Scarf, if not then Celeste. So Samuel just doesn't do as well. I'm actually quite surprised that Angry Udai did not just fall on that Batiste. Granted, you are not trying to counter anybody with that Batiste, but more than likely the side of Silverboom, if you do pick up Batiste, it will be because it's a preemptive pick against that of Idris as well. So I'm quite surprised that wasn't picked up, but I guess Samuel is the go-to since they might just be a little more comfortable on it.
Yeah, the problem with picking a Batiste is that you're up against the Celeste. That's who you know you're facing, and Celeste is fantastic against Batiste, so that wouldn't really be a great pick in the jungle. I think Samuel was wasn't a good choice, but it was their best choice because they want to go into late game. Samuel has the chance of that being a mage, whereas Batiste, he does quite well late game, but he's just hard countered by Celeste. So if they then decided to change that Idris into somebody with range, Vox, Ringo, Gwen, then your Batiste isn't great. If they went Gwen and Celeste, that just hard counters Batiste. So I think Eanix did the best draft they could given the circumstances that Silverboom forced them into.
Definitely, but Silverboom did definitely draft better, and the Dash do agree. And let's see if our awesome dancing caster Asurai will agree with us.
Man, yeah, dancing caster indeed. Thank you for that intro, Lasuria. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna go with your pick on Silverboom having the better composition, because I felt like on my end, game 2. This actually feels like a similar composition in a way that either one to try to reach, and Silverboom will try to keep away from that reach, and Silverboom have just shown that they're better in that kind of sense since they do have the Celeste and the Lyra. But looky here, from the silence, Rubber Monkey almost taking down So Bad, Very Bad. Thank goodness he had some potions to drink on, or rather to chug on, but still, that was a very close call.
Very close call indeed. Now Trophy's in lane with a 1v2 against Lei Kang and Pain Sunday, but does manage to get away. So we do see double melee lanes now, at least. Granted, both heroes has got, you know, a length reaching ability, but at the end of it all...
Very bad though. He could get caught out here. Here comes Pain Sunday again. Well, and they gotta back away as the Idris has gone for that rotation. Drifting Dark will be used by Angry You Die. Will get that last shot onto the Treant. Pain Sunday will be here to give more heals for So Bad, Very Bad, but he is not in a good spot as well. But once again, Eanix might get caught out here. Rubber Monkey is playing on the brink of death, but Trophies will give him a little bit of support. This is going to be a 2v1 situation. On the other side, it is going to be the same as well. Lei Kang very low as well. Nice connection from that Holy Nova, and Lei Kang should go down a little bit too close for comfort, but they get the 1-for-1 trade. But Trophies still want more. Silverboom in a bad spot. We're going to get the chase down as well. So Bad, Very Bad right here. Can Rubber Monkey provide enough support? Oh, the Heliogenesis. Oh, the auto-attack shots. And Rubber Monkey will give his life for his comrade, and that will be a 2-for-2.
Very good camaraderie coming out from the side, or from Rubber Monkey at least, trying to save the behind of Trophies, but didn't quite do well for himself, honestly, for Angry Udai. When Angry Udai did wanted to go in for that invade very early on, problem with doing that invade is that Graves was very low, and Pain Sunday and Celeste was relatively healthy. Lei Kang didn't manage to take that Elder Treant away from Angry Udai, just putting all his hard work to waste. I hope, though, for this game, we will be seeing Angry Udai being a little more aggressive in that lane.
Good damage coming in from Eanix. They push back Lei Kang just by a smidgen. And where is So Bad, Very Bad? He's still rotating up into the lane. Rubber Monkey is taking a significant amount of damage. He doesn't have his level 6 yet. Only level 3 for the meantime. Drifting Dark from I Angry Die. He's gonna be putting out a long Malice and Verdict, and there you go. The hero, Rubber Monkey, dunks down a Holy Nova just to save I Angry Die right here. But this lack of range from Eanix is making it so hard. They gotta dive in, and at that point, Silverboom is putting all of this free, quote-unquote, poke onto Eanix.
Yep, quote-unquote poke, indeed. And we must realize one more thing as well. Oh, before I realize any more thing.
And more things indeed, as it looks like Silver stop at all unless they start to stop them themselves. And it seems that that's going to be the case as Rubber Monkey has gone down. But Silver Boom are here, pushing into the lane, and they might actually look to get even more as they are really pushing this wave really quick. As of this moment, oh my goodness, that core collapse, and I Angry You Die is, well, legit gonna be angry that he died again.
Definitely. And one more thing that, before...
It's not gonna stop, Laseria. It's not. Every 30 seconds, die on point is not actually on point, so no kills for Trophies.
No kills. And before, I just want to make sure that no more fight will be happening before I go in for this elongated note of mine that I've written on this notepad that is just merely collecting dust. Leiken going in to protect that turret, but honestly, if you think about it, Angry You Die in this game just rotating up into lane a lot more frequent, but so bad, very bad. On that Celeste just seems so comfortable on that hero as well, just landing countless core collapses on Samuel when he is drifting in his dark. But yet again, Rubber Monkey going in.
I mean, that's just Rubber Monkey going in, and Eanix doesn't have a huge amount of yet. They gotta rely on that pre-level 6, and it's not really bearing them any fruit for now. Silver Boom are gonna be trying to at least answer with a bit of their own poke, chakrams and heliogenesis all day long, and Eanix are eating it up like Skittles. They gotta back away for the meantime. There's gonna be a drifting dark once again, but I Angry You Die still has yet to really capitalize on this Samuel, so there is a little bit of that ticking time bomb here for Eanix, because once again, Silver Boom feels like they do have that later composition, but I could be wrong because, well, Eanix still do have that Black Feather.
Yep, and also one more thing, no matter how hard the side...
Oh, I'll just have to stop you right there. It's stop here for both of these squadrons. They are looking out for some blood, and Trophies is going in ham. He gets the 1. And Pain Sunday almost becoming the 2nd, but it's not going to happen for now. And have we weathered the storm? Has it calmed down yet? I think he has.
Should.
So there you go.
Point in time. But I really want to say, though, the side, and that was a prime example, that fight, I'm glad that fight happened because that was a prime example of what I wanted to say. The side of Eanix cannot take the poke coming out from Silver Boom, whereas Silver Boom can take as much poke as possible because of that Lara. So in order for Eanix to win out the poke war, they cannot do it. Quite ironic, I know, but in that team fight alone, it's quite obvious.
Ooh, Rubber Monkey though taking quite a bit of fierce damage. Boom, there's the use of that
Okay, so that happened. They are going to reset at this point in time. So I guess all good and all is dandy, but Trophies may be looking for more.
And with the help, able to Trophies from once again, but still no blood will be spilled in the Halcyon Fold.
No blood indeed, but I Angry You Die just looking a bit more, using the Drifting Dark aggressively. Ooh, but Solar Storm do come down onto Angry You Die. Angry You Die now at a quarter health, looking very bad. The side of Silver Boom can probably capitalize on that, but they are just going to back off into the lane of theirs and probably just siege this turret. They have got very good sieging capabilities with this Idris and of course Celeste, but the side...
Oh no, this could be bad for Silver Boom. There's very low on HP, dives back in again, but they have to back away. Silver Boom it's actually pretty lucky. They have the Lyra for the sustain, and they still have that first tier turret for their, or rather that tier 1 turret, so that they will be able to fall back into its embracing arms. But that doesn't matter for Trophies because he is on that Black Feather, forcing out the passage from Pain Sunday right here and right now. Shimmer Strike will come out from Lei King, but Lei King, oh, he's very low. It's got to back away for the meantime. In Eanix, they're looking to push onto the turret right here, but Silver Boom, they're able to weather the storm, and they will be able to still maybe possibly come out from this one. I Angry You Die pushing out the pellets here, but it's not gonna deal enough damage. Trophies backing off, and Silver Boom now able to actually get a little bit of a good foothold here into the fight, as once again they got so much poke, and Trophies has to respect that. Where is Vainglory? He's on the bottom side of the map, so he won't really be joining the fight onto Eanix, and the fight will dissipate.
The fight will and the team will reset, and honestly the side of Eanix cannot quite take the poke because they do not have the sustain coming out as per that of Lyra or Pain Sunday on the Lyra, but they are going to take this tower as no one is quite mending it with just one more basic attack, and Trophies do secure that tower. Is so bad, very bad, maybe looking in for another fight.
And Silver Boom are up for the chase, and they got it. A game of tag, and they win it. For just now, Vainglory right here. He's got to be careful because, well, So Bad Very Bad is already past level 8, so he got that max or better range on the Heliogenesis. But here comes Trophies. Oh, this is a 2v3 situation. If I ever did see it, the stun to connect onto Trophies. He's got to be very careful. Will get shut down. Oh, it's a disaster right now for Eanix. They felt that they could actually play that, but it really wasn't meant to be. And here comes Eanix once again, though. Vainglory and Rubber Monkey are up for that chase potential. Lei Kang is down, and Pain Sunday, he is 40 seconds away from a passage, and he should be another target right here and right now, but the heals is just too good for this Lyra, and Eanix only get that 1-for-1.
Yep, but there is one thing we must note as well, is that Grace's heal can change the tide of fight, whereas Lyra's heal, if all 3 members are low and if you're standing in it, and when Lyra do pop it, it doesn't heal as much as Grace's burst heal. So that is something we must keep in mind as well. Divine Intervention can really be that divine intervention that Eanix need in a nick of, in a very tight spot as well. And we did see that earlier on, before the fight that happened last. Trophies was dangerously low, but because of one divine intervention coming up from Grace, Trophies did manage to go back into the fight. And so this is the late game prowess of the team coming out from the side of Eanix, and it's just down to whether or not they can dive onto Celeste, take out Celeste ASAP, and then just focus down on Lei Kang, because Lei Kang now at this point in time has got no way to quite stack damage as compared to that of Trophies. If Trophies just go for that breaking point as his 3rd damage item, which will be a very good item as if you think about it, and especially since you're going up against an Idris and of course a lot of sustain from Pain Sunday on that Lyra, so breaking point will be quite a good pickup right now.
And here you can see Lei Kang able to use that Shroud Step to get away for a little bit, as it looks like Eanix, like you said, they have that late game prowess with Trophies and Grace. So here we are, the will and grace of Eanix has to push through, because Silver Boom also have that potential. Oh, Trophies sneaky beaky light from the sides, but you can't do it, man. You don't have the brush. Gotta go back to the drawing board to find another point of entry for the meantime. And will Silver Boom actually force this gold mine, as Eanix are actually pretty far from the objective as well?
Yep, they are going to go for this gold mine, and there would not be much contest, of course, unless Grace goes in for the benediction, but didn't quite come through. Rubber Monkey, though, now has got 3 members.
But wait, hold that thought. From the sidelines, here comes Eanix, or rather Eanix going in, backstabs with damage coming in. If you'd have the heals, like you said, it's not a lot of burst heal coming in from the Lyra. They get the shutdown onto the Celeste. That's the target that they were for. Shimmer Strike comes out from Lei Kang, but it's not going to be enough. The King has gone down. Rubber Monkey. Actually, no, the King actually strikes. And hoo-ha! Silver Boom gets the ace. That's going to be a 3-for-1. And how did Lei Kang still survive? That was insane.
Just looking at damage items itself, Lei Kang has got a Sorrow Blade, has got a Poison Shift on top of that Attention Bow as well, whereas Trophies prioritize on those defense items, thus not putting out as much damage. And of course, in sustain wise, it is always sustain per ratio of your weapon damage, and it's definitely that Lei Kang has got more of it. And on top of that, our backseat analyst did say though, Idris OP, and I'll leave it at that. I'll not continue on my point because it's really just one word, Lei Kang now. may be in trouble, or maybe Trophies will be the one that's in trouble when Silverboom, all three members, just patrolling outside that brush, waiting for someone to hop in. And Angry You Die here, like you said, Asurai, not really working that early game of his, not really going in, in the early game just to pressure Lei King out, because we do understand and we do know that Idris in the early game has got such bad clear as compared to even a Black Feather, and a Black Feather generally would know how to outpoke that Idris, but that didn't quite come through. So it is just down to the late game and whether or not Grace's divine intervention can change the tide of fights like just now, and that was so close. And it's down to Trophies to continue building into the tier 3 item, the tier 3 damage item, and he needs it very, very fast.
Silverboom, though, I'll have to stop you for a moment, Lasuria. Kraken has awakened. Eanix is right here pushing in onto the lane, but there is a good amount of wave clear from Silverboom, so that wave will not be pushing into the side of Silverboom's map. Although Eanix in a 3v2 for the meantime, as Celeste is getting a little farm from the sidelines. This could be an opening right now for Eanix. They're gonna try to make something happen, but it's not gonna prove fruitful for the meantime. So Bad, Very Bad has finally joined the ranks of Silverboom, or the SB squadron rather. Lei King throwing out a little bit of the chakrams, but his damage is not going to show up just yet. Drifting Dark will be on cooldown for a little bit here, as Rubber Monkey will be initiating the fight. They spotted Pain Sandy and Lei King. If they spotted So Bad, Very Bad is actually out of position for a little bit. Maybe that's the opening here for Eanix, but no. It was this very small opening, a small window of opening rather for Eanix to not be able to take it. The poke comes out from Trophies. There's a Drifting Dark that's not connecting onto Iangry Die. He's got to back away, right? There's a Solar Storm, will not connect onto anyone for just now. Lei King is very low. Here comes Trophies. There's the Shout Step. He still has his ultimate. He can Shimmer Strike to someone. The heal's coming in from the race. Oh my goodness, here it is, the hero kill. Trophies is still high on HP. There's the passageway. They're diving in. Rubber Monkey with the Slam It Down. Oh my goodness, double kill as well. And Eanix gets the shutdown. My goodness, they have found a little bit to the formula, into the method of madness here against Silverboom in this Kraken. Unless Pain Sunny can smack down a pretty insane Imperial Sigil, I don't think they'll be able to steal it.
Well, that was an amazing fight, and as I said, Grace just does so much better as compared to Lyra in that late game, only because of the way Grace's heals work. But Trophy's now working towards picking up Lyra.
And Lyra will get picked off. Ooh, it's gonna be close. He's going left and right, and Lei King shuts him down, but the Kraken has been unleashed. 3v2 situation right here, but Eanix, will they give, the queen her support? Lei King diving in onto Samuel. My goodness, he's super low, but the shields and heal will keep him alive for so long. Rubber Monkey doing the best that he can, but I guess my best was not good enough for now.
And holy shield, that was a bad play coming up from Eanix. We have said time and time again, Eanix shouldn't go in to be that hero. Just stick with your team and you be your best hero that your team needs you to be. But now Kraken will just barely take this turret before going down, so that's free 500 gold over to the side of Silverboom. Silverboom now though, sitting at a 3k gold lead over to that of Eanix. Eanix looking rather shaky at this point in time. They could have had Kraken, they could have had that game, but that didn't quite happen because Trophies decided that it was the better idea to go on to Pain Sandy on that Lyra, almost picking up that kill. Had he picked up that kill, then I've got nothing else to say. But with that, he does pick up that breaking point to go up against Lei King, and of course, to kind of nullify the heal and mitigate the heal coming out from Lyra, because if Lyra were to heal Lei King all the way up, then that means it's more breaking point stacks for Trophies on this Black Feather. But overall, Eanix is playing decently into, with their comp, but they just need to stick together for now. They really need to. Glue will be the key to win the game.
That's the thing here, though. If Eanix can just find, or rather push their team fight more than their solo fight, they might have a better chance at winning in this one. But Silver Boom, well, slowly but surely, look at the damage coming in. Bad, very bad. He is landing the hurt with this Heliogenesis. Rose offensive from Trophies, and look at the backstab coming in from Laking. He is just fearless right now. Iangry gets blown up, and Eanix seems that it's gonna be the Grace as the next target here for Silver Boom. She lands a pretty solid Holy Nova, but it can only do so much as Eanix has already lost one of their members. Make it 2 now, and only Trophies to remain.
Trophies to remain, but as a Black Feather, you will not be able to do much, especially against an Idris and of course the Celeste. What you can do right now is hopefully steal that Kraken that, you know, when she does come up, the side of Silver Boom would definitely pick up. So that is the only thing. Oh, Trophies will be going in for a 1v1 against Lei King, but not so much. He will roast defensively out. So again, that fight, not all the members of Eanix was committed at all. You saw Trophies was merely poking from the back, whereas Yudai was just caught out of position, drifting dark into the enemy back lines. And that isn't the plays that we are expecting coming out from the side of Eanix. At least not now, not at this point in time. You guys are not in the lead. They are not in the lead at all. They shouldn't be coming out with, you know, trying to make plays like that. They are now roaming as a team of 3. Wall threats is used.
They're going to be forcing their fight right now. The will has been imposed here by the side of Eanix, but from the back line, look at just... My goodness, no! Samuel, he will be able to survive. The heals come... That actually was the perfect bait here onto the side of Lei King, and that's going to be the shutdown. They're going to be able now to be able to, rather, to push the turret. Or is the Kraken up? She is. As beautiful as she is, that is the next objective that Eanix will be getting. And at the same time, Trophies breaking down that second turret. So, wow, this Grace pick is really paying off for Eanix.
Definitely, although there were changes made to Grace's Divine Intervention, but let's all admit it, this Holy Shield that grants your allies 40% damage reduction, and on top of that, the burst of heal that can be the intervention your team needs to win that game. I thought that Imperial Sigil would steal that Kraken. I was starting to grow hype for it, but sadly, and of course fortunately enough for Eanix, it didn't. And this puts Eanix at a very good position at this point in time. They can push at it as a team if they very well choose to do so, as Kraken walks down, or rather struts down this single lane.
Yeah, maybe that's the reason why, you know, the Kraken does it, so that, you know, she can strut her stuff, but we'll see. As it feels like it's gonna be Silver Boom to initiate the fight for the meantime, but they gotta be careful again. Like I said, even though there are changes, that Divine Intervention is just too freaking good. And oh no, Pain Sunday, this is a Lyra in a very bad spot. The Bulwark actually will be able to save her here. And Iangry die, although Iangry will actually be putting a lot of pain, a lot of hurt with that usage on the Malice and Verdict Drifting Dark, or the Malice Verdict Drift. But now the Kraken will be able to break at least one turret. Although Silver Boom are pretty valiant with their defense.
Yep, they were indeed, but you know, that Kraken did manage to open and crack open the base of the side of Eanix. So I guess that was kind of worth it, because a lot of times you just want the Kraken to crack open the base for you, so you have a little more free lane for yourself, and on top of that, a little more control over the enemy's jungle. But look at the goal difference though. Silver Boom still has got that 2k gold lead that I was on about earlier on. And yet, they are not playing as though they have got the gold lead, but then I'll just hold my point.
Hold your point, as there's gonna be a little bit of a top in the lane. But Silver Boom, as well as Eanix, will not push through for the meantime. 9-13 is our kill score, but that doesn't really matter now. As we are going into the later stages of this game, it's looking pretty scary for Eanix, even though Silver Boom are the ones who have lost their choke turret. It still seems that Silver Boom, with one win of a team fight, can capitalize heavy against Eanix. Eanix cannot do the same. but we'll just have to see.
Yep.
Damage though from so bad, very bad, and all right.
The
No team fight for
problem.
yet.
Yep, not yet. Not yet. I know you're excited for a team fight because I am as well. But let me just finish. Okay, can I even finish though? But Robin
I think again.
Miss Grace is a very valuable pickup for the side of Eanix because, like we saw a lot of times, Angry Who Die was so low, very low, but yet constantly being healed up all the way to max health, and then of course trophies from the back lines just going on to Lei King that decided it was a good idea to jump onto Angry Who Die, but then a fight will break out now.
Here it is. This could be the deciding factor for both of these teams. One more and win it. There's a. They're looking for the second. Look at this from the back line. You're not going to be able to do it anymore, Lei King, because there is the Grace, and she will not be able to fall because she is just that good. Impressive comes in from the side of Eanix. One more. Lei King is going to be the last one, and that's going to be the ace here for Eanix. Can it be the straight push? It's 40 seconds. So bad, very bad. It's the quickest one to get back into the Halcyon fold, but this could be it. The GG push from Eanix. Will it be true, Luceria? Will it be true?
Will it be true? And let's see if the death timers, death timers at the end of the day would be affected when you pick up the turrets. And if they can split focus, then they can definitely end this game right now. But that one turret, the turrets are falling very fast. This might be game for Eanix, and Eanix will and might be winning this best of 5 series.
There it is!
There it is indeed. And Grace did really intervene and pull this game off for the side of Eanix. Good game, well played. Eanix picking this best of 5 up 3-1.
That was just insane coming in from Eanix. I felt that Boom had that potential to push it into a game 5, but yeah, what do you think about that one, Luceria?
Silver Boom definitely did have a chance, but it didn't come through because they didn't have that Grace. They had the OP Idris. Those I quote from Minimizer that will take over now.
Thank you, Luxuria and Azurai. 3-1 in favor of Eanix in the end. It was well played by both teams. I think the fact that Idris is OP nearly saved Silver Boom, but they couldn't quite do it in the end because Grace is apparently more OP. Her 600 heal plus when you get 200% of any crystal power you get. Grace didn't build any crystal power, actually built just the Echo and the Infusion for extra CP. And it really worked well. I think the turning around team fight was when Samuel went extremely low, then the 600 heal came out because there was no mortal wound applied to Samuel, and then Grace healed Samuel back up to almost full health. Idris tried to keep killing him. Grace just echoed it, another heal, Samuel back to full. And then once it got to late game, we just know that Eanix are so strong at playing late game. They know how to play it. That's their favoured way to play the game is just wait. Once everyone's fully built, everyone's got their items. Once the death time is 60 seconds, then we can start winning team fights and pushing for the game.